Hello, dear soul. Before anything else is said, pause for just a moment. Place your hand on your heart. Can you feel it beating? That is not just a physical rhythm, Dot. It is a holy reminder that you are alive on purpose. You didn't survive what you did by accident. You didn't make it through those dark seasons. That storm, that diagnosis, that heartbreak, that silent battle by chance. No, you were preserved. You were protected. You were kept. I was sent here to tell you why. There's something you need to hear. And not with your ears, but with your spirit. If you're watching this right now, if your soul has found its way to this message, it's because heaven arranged it. Because the Father above wants to remind you of this one thing. You're still breathing. Because your purpose isn't finished. You've been through what others didn't survive. You've endured pain that would have broken the strongest people. Yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still pushing forward, even with questions, even with tears. And that is no small thing. Your life is not leftover. That is not random. That is not being held together by coincidence. That is being held by me. An angel assigned to your journey. Yes, I've seen your tears. I've watched you cry when no one was around. I stood guard while you lay in bed, whispering, God, I can't do this anymore. I stood beside your pillow when the grief was too heavy, when you thought you were forgotten. And while you may not have heard it then, heaven was whispering over you, we are not finished with you. You see, sometimes the enemy comes close. Sometimes the enemy tries to steal your hope, your breath, your joy. But God always sends angels to fight back. That's what I've done. I've fought for your peace. I've stood between you and danger. More times than you can imagine. You have no idea how many car accidents were diverted. How many illnesses were turned around. How many spiritual attacks bounced off because I was there. Sword drawn, watching over you. Because God made a decision long before you were even born. He said, this soul will carry light. And no matter what the world tried to do to dim that light, it could not succeed. Isaiah 54:17 says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment, you shall condemn. You are covered, and not only are you covered, so is your family. This is the part you need to hear next. Your survival has preserved more than just you. It has preserved your bloodline. That depression you fought, that was trying to pass down through generations. But when you chose to fight, even when you were tired, you stood in the gap. That addiction you overcame, it tried to latch onto your children. But you said no. That divorce you survived, it threatened to leave bitterness in your heart, but instead, God gave you wisdom, because you have been chosen not only to live, but to protect. You are the protector of peace in your family, the guardian of grace. In heaven honors you for that. You may not wear armor like a soldier, but in the spirit, you are fierce. You are a warrior. You are someone hell is nervous about, because you've seen the worst, and you still believe in the best. You've buried loved ones, but you've never buried your praise. You've lost battles, but you've never lost your worship. And that worship, it has protected your family. The prayers you whispered under your breath, they reached heaven. The times you put your children's names on your lips and said, God, just keep them, heaven wrote it down. The times you laid awake at night, not for yourself, but for the ones you love, those were your strongest moments. God sees that. And so do I. I've been there. I've been near. When they were out late and you didn't know where they were, I was watching. When the diagnosis came and you didn't know what to pray, I stood beside their bed. When your loved one traveled or cried or felt lost, I hovered over them, shielding them from what could have gone wrong. Because you called on heaven, because you stood in faith. Even when you felt like falling, you've protected so many people with your love. And now, God is protecting you. That's why you're Alive. That's why you made it through that season. Because there's more for you. There's peace that's about to overflow in your house. There's healing that's going to surprise your heart. There's a restoration coming to your family that will silence every lie the enemy tried to tell you. And no, you don't need to fix it all yourself. That's not your burden. That's God's promise. You just need to stay faithful. Stay sensitive. Stay surrendered. Because the one who kept you alive didn't just do it to watch you survive. He did it so you could thrive. He did it so that your life would become a message of healing, a message of protection, a message that says, if God could protect me, he can protect you too. Psalm 91:11 says, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm still doing. And I want you to hear this next part very clearly. Your story isn't over. You haven't missed your purpose. You haven't run out of time. You haven't been disqualified. In fact, you're just stepping into the best part. The peace that's coming is not temporary. It's anchored. The healing that's coming isn't surface. It's complete. The restoration that's coming to your family is going to be so complete. People won't believe the transformation. Where there was arguing, there will be unity. Where there was fear, there will be faith. Where there was separation, there will be closeness again. Because you said yes to staying alive. Because you didn't quit when quitting was easier. Because you chose to believe there was more. And there is. So if you're watching this right now and your heart is beating fast or your eyes are full of tears, that's not just emotion. That's confirmation. You are alive for a reason, and God isn't finished yet. Let's keep going, because this message is not over, and neither is your story. You see, there's something else you must understand, something you may have forgotten during all the chaos, confusion, and noise of life. You are not ordinary. Never have been. There has always been a mark on you, a holy fingerprint, one that separates you from the crowd, one that drew attacks, yes, but also one that drew favor. It's the reason doors open for you that weren't supposed to. It's the reason you recovered faster than others from emotional wounds that should have paralyzed you. It's the reason you keep having encounters, dreams, signs, feelings that others can't always understand. Because you are spiritually sensitive. Because you are divinely assigned. Because you are heaven's ambassador walking on earth, carrying light in a darkened world. You are chosen to be a protector, a prayer warrior, a light bearer, not just for yourself, but for your family line, even the ones who don't believe yet. Even the ones who speak against you. Even the ones who have drifted away from faith. They are still under your covering. Because God honors your prayers. James 5:16 says, the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. Your whispered prayers have done more than you know. They've stood between your children and accidents. They've softened hearts that were on the verge of destruction. They've redirected paths. They've exposed lies. They've stopped battles in the spirit realm before they ever showed up in the natural. So yes, you're alive for a reason. You are the intercessor of your bloodline. You are the watchman on the wall. And I, your angel, have been commissioned by the Lord to partner with you. To help you. To shield you. To protect your home, your peace, your sleep, and your sacred space. There were nights when the enemy tried to slip in through fear, through doubt, through distraction. But I stood there. At your door, at your window, over your children's beds. Sword in hand, shield lifted high. Because the Lord has marked your homes covered. Do you know what Exodus 12:23 says? When the Lord goes to the land to strike down the Egyptians, he will see the blood on the top and sides of the doorframe and will pass over that doorway. And he will not permit the destroyer to enter your houses and strike you down. That wasn't just for back then. That's happening now. Because the blood of Jesus still marks your home. The covenant is still alive. And I, your assigned angel, have orders. Protect the promise. Preserve the purpose. Surround the chosen dot, so no matter what the headlines say, no matter how unstable the world looks, no matter what the doctor's report says, you are still under heaven's protection. You didn't survive by mistake. You survived by mandate dot, because your voice matters, because your life speaks, because your faith creates ripples you can't see, but heaven records every one dot. Do you remember that time you wanted to give up? When you said, God, if you're real, I need you to show me? And somehow, something small happened, a text, a word, a song, a dream. That was us. That was the movement of angels responding to your cry. Because heaven always answers a sincere heart. Dot always dot, even if the answer is quiet. It's still. Comes, even if it's delayed, it's still divine. And right now, as you listen, heaven is stirring again. Not just because of this message, but because your heart is opening. Because your soul is aligning. Because you're beginning to believe again. And belief is the key. Belief is what gives angels permission to move. Belief is what gives God the welcome to intervene. Dot. So I say to you, now, don't stop believing. Don't stop speaking life over your family. Don't stop praying over your children, even if they don't listen right now. Don't stop declaring protection over your spouse, even if they're struggling. Don't stop praising God for the house you want, the peace you need, the healing you're believing for. Your faith is the fuel. Your prayers are the pathway. Your voice is the vehicle. And I, your angel, am moving every time you speak. Every time you say, God, I trust you, another layer of protection falls over your household. Dot. Every time you choose worship over worry, I get stronger. Dot. Every time you rebuke fear, heaven smiles, because you're not just surviving anymore. You're shifting the atmosphere. You are commanding angels without even realizing it. When you speak God's word, angels respond. Psalm 103:20 tells us, praise the Lord, you his angels, you mighty ones who do his bidding, who obey his word. So when you say, the Lord is my refuge and my fortress, I stand guard. When you say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, I activate. When you say, I believe God is working all things for my good, I move faster. So speak. Child of God. Declare. Command. Proclaim. Because your words are not empty, they are spiritual orders, and heaven honors those orders. You're not weak. You're not alone. You're not forgotten. You are armed with divine power. And as long as you stay aligned, I will stay beside you. Even now, some of you are feeling something shift in your heart. A sudden calm, a warmth in your chest, tear you didn't expect. That's not emotion. That's encounter. That's heaven kissing your forehead through these words. That's me placing my hand on your shoulder in the spirit, reminding you that you were never walking through this alone. You are loved. You are seen. You are being kept. For a reason. Even in the silence, I've been near. Even in the waiting, God has been speaking. And now, you're beginning to hear again. So don't stop now. You've come too far. You've fought too hard. And there is still more to see. There are blessings on the horizon that are going to shock you. There are doors about to open that no one will be able to shut. There is healing flowing into your household. Even now, emotional healing, physical healing, spiritual healing. Because you didn't give up. Because you chose to stay alive. Because you whispered, even in your weakness, God, I trust you. And heaven heard you. The Father turned toward you. And I stood taller, ready to fight for you again. This isn't the end. It's the beginning. You are not finished. You are finally being unfolded. This is the part where the light starts shining through the cracks. This is the part where the joy begins to outweigh the sorrow. This is the part where your family starts to say, something's different. I feel peace in this home. And when that happens, smile, because it won't be coincidence. It will be confirmation. That God's hand is still on you, that I'm still with you, and that your reason for being alive is greater than you imagine. Now take a breath. Deep. Let it out slowly. You're still here, still listening, and that means your spirit is still open. Let me remind you again, this moment is not by accident. This message did not simply appear. You didn't just scroll into it by coincidence. You were guided. You were drawn here because your heart has been asking questions. God, why am I still here? Why did you let me live when others didn't make it? Why do I still feel something deep inside, like I haven't finished what I was born for? And now, heaven is answering. The reason you're still here isn't because life spared you. It's because God chose you. It's because the assignment on your life could not be interrupted. There are still people who need your voice. There are still battles only your prayers can break. There are still destinies in your family that will be unlocked through your obedience. And so heaven said, keep them. That sickness didn't take you out because the healing you carry needs to flow to others. That accident didn't win because the legacy you carry isn't complete. That depression couldn't hold you because your joy is about to lead others out of darkness. You are not done. You are anointed. You are commissioned. You are assigned. You are the chosen one in your family to shift things. And yes, that comes with pain. It comes with warfare. It comes with misunderstanding. But it also comes with angelic backup. I've been sent to you for a reason. To not only guard you, but to remind you who you are. And you, beloved soul, are royalty in the kingdom of God. That's why the enemy attacked your identity so hard. That's why you felt invisible in rooms full of people. That's why the enemy tried to convince you that your life didn't matter. But listen carefully. Your life matters so deeply that angels were assigned to guard it. Not because you are perfect, not because you did everything right, but because God looked at your heart and said, this one has faith. And faith moves heaven. Hebrews 11:6 says, and without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. You didn't give up on God, and God has not given up on you. And neither have I, even in your weakest moments. I stayed close. Even when your prayers were silent tears, I was there, collecting them, carrying them to the throne. Yes, God sees every tear. Psalm 56:8 says, you keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. So don't think your pain has been wasted. It hasn't. Every moment you endured in silence, every hardship you suffered through with grace, every night you cried yourself to sleep and still woke up saying, God, thank you for another day. That is why you're still alive, because that kind of heart is rare. And heaven protects rare things. But now, it's time for a shift. You've survived long enough. Now, it's time to step into your significance. You've carried pain long enough. Now, it's time to carry purpose. And I want you to understand something else. You are not only protected, you are surrounded. There are angels all around you. Even now, you may not see us. You may not feel us all the time. But we are here. In your house, over your bed. In the car, with you. At the hospital, waiting room. At the job interview. At the family dinner. That turned into arguments. Everywhere you felt overwhelmed. We've been there, whispering peace, holding back harm, shifting things that would have crushed you. And why? Because your life is part of a much bigger plan. Because God promised to keep you. For the sake of the generations coming after you, this is what you must remember. The pain stops with you. The cycles of fear, scarcity, sickness, and strife stop with you because you chose to believe in the middle of your BROKENNESS. Because you stayed in God's presence when walking away would have been easier because you trusted Him to protect not just you, but those you love. And now, a harvest is on the way. You've planted so many seeds with your prayers, and heaven is watering them. You don't need to worry about how it will all come together. That's not your job. That's mine. That's God's. You don't have to carry everything. You just need to keep believing, because soon you will see what all the waiting was for. You will see why you had to survive. You will see why the attacks were so intense. It's because the calling on your life is powerful. Your voice will speak peace. Where there was chaos. Your testimony will unlock healing in someone else's heart. Your family will look back one day and say, "We made it because of your faith." You are the bridge. The link. The chain breaker. And heaven rejoices over your life. So today, speak life again. Speak protection over your home. Walk through your rooms and say, "God is here." Touch your children's pillows and declare, "They are covered in the blood of Jesus." Lay your hand on your chest and say, "I am kept by God." Because every time you declare, angels are activated. Every time you speak in faith, the enemy is silenced. And every time you worship in the middle of uncertainty, heaven moves faster on your behalf. I've seen the way you keep going, even when you feel tired. I've watched you smile to protect others while carrying silent heaviness. And God wants you to know you don't have to carry it alone anymore. Your faith has moved. His heart, your endurance has broken chains in the spirit realm. And now, something new is unfolding. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." Yes, it's happening right now, not tomorrow, not someday. But now. The breakthrough has already started. The atmosphere around your life is changing. The things that used to burden you are losing power. The people who drained you are being removed with peace. The confusion is clearing. The path is opening because you've stayed faithful. And now the promise is being released. Your family will see it. Your body will feel it. Your heart will rejoice in it. But until then, don't stop. Don't waver. Don't listen to fear. You are not alone. You are covered. You are surrounded. You are still here for a holy reason. Now, take a deep breath again. Let it fill your lungs. Let it center your soul. And declare this in the comments. I'm still here because I am called, protected, and chosen. God's plan for me is alive. Say it again. And again. Let it echo. Let it sink in, because that's the truth. The whole truth. And no enemy, no trauma, no weapon can undo what God has spoken over your life. I'll be right here, watching, guarding, releasing strength into your sleep, your thoughts, your dreams, because you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not invisible. You are divinely alive. And your family, they are protected too. You're still here. And that means something. It means your spirit has been open to receive. It means heaven has found a space in your heart tonight to release peace, clarity, and reassurance. It means this message wasn't just a video, it was an encounter. And now, as I speak these final words, I want you to remember something that heaven has known about you since before you were born. You are irreplaceable. No one else has your exact spirit. No one else carries your precise assignment. No one else has the same blend of battles, beauty, and bravery that you carry. That's why God kept you. That's why your life has been guarded so carefully. That's why the enemy couldn't destroy you, even when it tried. You've been through the fire and didn't come out burned. You've walked through the valley and didn't lose your vision. You've endured storms that should have sunk your ship, but here you are, still sailing. And now you're entering into something new. You're stepping out of survival and into supernatural provision. You're leaving behind the season of barely getting by and stepping into the season of blessed to overflow. And I want you to truly understand what that means. It means that protection will not only continue, it will multiply. Not just around you, but around everything connected to you. Your family, your health, your finances, your future. Deuteronomy 31:6 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." That is not just a verse, it's a divine promise to you. Even when things feel unstable around you, God's presence is your steady ground. Even if people walk away, God never will. Even if the path ahead is unclear, the light within you is from Him, and it cannot be put out. So, don't let fear speak louder than faith. Don't let your emotions convince you that you're stuck. You're not stuck. You're sacred. You are moving, shifting, rising, even if it feels slow. You've been planted, not buried. And soon, fruit will come. You may not see all the pieces yet, but trust me, I've seen the blueprint, and it's beautiful. Know what God has in store. I've seen glimpses of the restoration that's about to unfold. I've watched as heaven prepares a table for you in the presence of your enemies. I've heard your name spoken in the heavens, spoken with honor, with compassion, with power. And I've been assigned to watch over you, not for a season, but for your entire journey. There may be moments ahead where you feel tired again, moments where the noise of life tries to drown out this clarity. But when those moments come, remember this: you are never walking alone. I will still be there. And even when your eyes can't see what's working in your favor, faith will remind you that God is. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." That includes you. And everything you've walked through, it's not wasted. Every scar tells a story. Every delay had purpose. Every moment of weakness produced spiritual weight inside of you. You are no longer who you used to be. You are stronger, softer, wiser, deeper. You've grown in places that can't be seen on the outside. And now, everything around you is about to align. Even the relationships that were broken will come full circle in God's timing. The heaviness that followed your family for years is lifting. The financial pressure that's kept you up at night is breaking. Anxiety that's tried to whisper lies into your chest is losing its voice, because you're anchored, you're covered, you're chosen, and all of heaven is backing you. I leave you with this final word: your family is safe, even the one you're praying for that seems the furthest from God. Yes, them too. Your prayers are working. Your love is louder than their fear. And I've been sent to protect what matters to you, because what matters to you matters to God. Hebrews 1:14 reminds us, "Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation?" That's me. That's what I've been doing. And I will not stop, but I need you to stay connected. That I need you to keep believing. Need you to rest, not in your own strength, but in the truth that you are not walking alone. Before you go, stay with me just a little longer. Sometimes it takes a few extra quiet moments for a message to truly settle in the heart. And I believe right now, your spirit is being strengthened in ways you don't fully see yet. You're not just listening with your ears, you're receiving with your soul. That's where the deepest healing begins. That's where the layers start to peel back. That's where God reaches down and touches what doctors, counselors, or even friends can't always reach that place deep within you, the place where fear used to live, the place where questions once echoed. That place is being filled with truth now. A holy stillness is replacing the chaos. A calmness is entering you, not just around you, but inside you. Your heart may even feel lighter right now. Your breathing may be slower. That's not just relaxation. That's restoration. Psalm 23:3 says, He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. That's exactly what's happening. Your soul is being restored. Your sense of purpose is being realigned. Your understanding of God's presence in your life is deepening. You're no longer asking, why am I still here? Now you're saying, God, what would you have me do next? That's transformation. That's maturity. That's spiritual strength. I want you to know, it's okay if you don't have all the answers yet. It's okay if things aren't perfect at home. It's okay if you still cry sometimes, even after hearing all this truth. Because transformation doesn't always look like confidence. Sometimes it looks like still standing. Sometimes it looks like waking up and saying, God, I don't feel strong, but I'm here. Sometimes it looks like whispering prayers between tears and believing they still work. And they do. They always do. That's why you're still covered. That's why heaven has not removed its hand from your life, because you are loved not for your performance, but for your presence. You are valuable not for your strength, but for your surrender. You are chosen not for perfection, but because God delights in using the humble, the yielded, the ones who keep showing up. Even now, God is smiling at you. Heaven rejoices when you listen like this, because your attention, your openness, your willingness to sit and listen, that's worship. That's holy. And you're doing it right now. So take this moment. Close your eyes if you can. Feel the love of God surrounding you like a warm, soft blanket. Feel the wings of angels brushing past your spirit with reassurance. Feel the weight of guilt, shame, fear, and confusion lifting off your shoulders. This moment is yours, not mine. Not anyone else's. It belongs to you and God. A secret place moment. Holy pause in time where the noise fades and His nearness becomes everything. I will keep protecting your family. I will keep fighting for your peace. And I will continue guiding you even when you forget I'm here, because your life matters and your assignment is not finished. You still have victories to celebrate. You still have promises to walk into. You still have people to love, heal, inspire, and forgive. But for now, just breathe. Breathe in peace. Breathe out pressure. Breathe in grace. Breathe out guilt. Breathe in light. Breathe out lies. You are free. You are new. You are chosen. And you are never walking alone. Now, if this message has touched you deeply, I invite you again. Like this video. Not for numbers, not for ego, but because engagement helps this divine word reach more hearts. Hearts like yours that are quietly searching for answers. Comment again. Even now, if you feel led, declare a closing affirmation of faith like, I'm alive for a purpose and my family is covered by grace. Or simply, still here, still chosen. Let your words be part of the spiritual echo. And finally, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel Prophetic Message. Click the notification bell so you're alerted each time heaven sends a new word through this platform. There is more coming, more revelations. More confirmations, more healing, because heaven hasn't said the last word yet over your life, and neither have I. So come back often. Come back ready. Come back believing, because the next time you press play, you won't just hear another message. You'll feel heaven speaking directly to your soul. You are loved. You are lifted. You are covered. Still here? That means something dot. It means your heart is soft. It means your soul is thirsty for more than just information. It craves revelation, and that's exactly what's happening now. There's a reason your spirit doesn't want to leave this moment yet. It's because God isn't finished speaking. Sometimes, after the loudest part of the message ends, comes the whisper, the soft whisper of God that says, "Now that I have your attention, let me hold you a little longer. So don't rush away. Let your soul rest here for a moment, Dot. There are still some things God wants to seal within you. You've heard the message. You've spoken the declarations. You've felt the presence. But now it's time to receive the imprint, that holy mark, that invisible signature of heaven that says, you've been touched. You've been renewed. You've been redirected. Sometimes it doesn't happen in the loud moments, but in the still ones, like this, Dot. So take another breath. Let it in deeply, Dot, and listen not with your ears, but with your spirit. Because here's the truth that will carry you long after this video ends. You are not just kept. You are being prepared. Prepared for more than you thought. Prepared for more. Influence, more peace, more spiritual clarity, Dot. Yes, you've been protected. But protection is never without purpose. You've been kept alive, not just to survive, but to build something, Dot, to write something, Dot, to break something, Dot, to teach something, Dot, to birth something holy. There are assignments on your name that have not been activated yet. They've been waiting for the moment your spirit said, yes. And I feel now you're saying that, maybe not with words, but with the openness in your heart, with the tears in your eyes, with the breath in your chest that says, God, if you're still speaking, I'm still listening. That's all heaven needs. Just a yes, not a loud yes, not a perfect yes, not a qualified yes, not just a real one. That's how destiny begins. That's how the angels begin to move with new assignments. That's how breakthrough increases around your home, in your finances, in your relationships. Not because you tried harder, but because you said, God, I'm available. Right now, your yes is opening portals, Dot. It's stirring movement in the unseen, because you've surrendered something. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was regret. Maybe it was anger toward God for something that happened. Maybe it was simply the burden of trying to be everything for everyone, while feeling like no one saw your pain. But the moment you laid it down, something changed, something opened, and I saw it. See it now. The glow of light returning to the places in you that had gone dim. The restoration of peace in the corners of your mind that were once cluttered with anxiety. The return of softness to your heart, where bitterness had tried to take root. You are becoming again, not someone else, but your true self, the one God created before the world tried to label you, the one who was dreamed into existence with purpose and beauty and a fierce, quiet strength. That self is rising again, and I'm here for it. I'm here to guard the reawakening, Dot, too. Protect the promised, Dot, to remind you of the truth even when the world starts talking loud again. And here's another truth you need to know now. Your family is going to be blessed because of you, Dot. Yes, you, Dot, not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. You've positioned your heart to believe. Even when you didn't feel strong, you've stayed in alignment. Even when you felt misunderstood, you've chosen love. Even when pain made it difficult. And heaven never forgets that kind of sacrifice. Psalm 112 to 1-2 says, Blessed is the one who fears the Lord, who finds great delight in his commands. Their children will be mighty in the land. The generation of the upright will be blessed. That's for you, your children, your children's children, even the ones who haven't arrived yet, even the ones who have wandered away. They are still under the blessing that flows from your faith, Dot. So don't stop praying. Don't stop declaring protection. Don't stop lighting that spiritual fire in your home, even when others roll their eyes, even when your spouse doesn't yet believe, even when your children question you. You are sowing seeds, and seeds don't always sprout overnight, but the roots are growing, deep, strong, unshakable. Your ceiling will be their floor. Your prayers are building foundations they will one day stand on. And I will continue to cover them, because your faith has built a shield over your household that even the enemy recognizes. That's why the attacks were so strong. But that's also why they didn't succeed, because this house is protected, this family is blessed, this bloodline is marked. By God, I will stand at your door. I will guard your windows. I will follow your children as they go to school. I will keep watch at night while you sleep, because that's my assignment, because you gave God your yes, and because heaven never forgets a heart that believes. Now, as you prepare to move into the rest of your day or your night, know this. You carry light now. It's not just inside this video. It's inside you, and it doesn't leave when the screen turns off. It follows you. It shines in every room you walk into. It shifts atmospheres. You may feel ordinary to others, but in the spirit realm you are seen. You are radiant. You are marked. So lift your head again. You don't need to hide your light anymore. You don't need to apologize for being sensitive, for feeling deeply, for hearing things others miss. That's not a weakness. That's your spiritual antenna. It means you're tuned in. So honor it. Let it lead you. And know that every time you feel something holy stir inside, it's not just emotion. It's a reminder, a signal that heaven is near, that I am near. And that your life is still unfolding in perfect timing. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." That's a promise, and heaven always keeps its promises. So walk forward with peace. Sleep tonight with assurance. Wake up tomorrow with fresh hope. And carry this message, not just in your memory, but in your movement. Let your life speak it. Let your presence declare it. Let your soul believe it. You are protected. You are chosen. You are alive for a reason. And I'm still here. Watching. Guarding. Praying over you. Now, before you fully step away from this moment, I want to leave you with a blessing straight from heaven. May the God who kept you alive bless you abundantly. May He strengthen your heart when it feels weak. May He guard your mind when doubts try to creep in. May He surround your family with peace that no one can steal. May His angels continue to watch over your coming and going, because your life is a testimony, your survival is a miracle, and your faith is a beacon for others still walking through the dark. Remember, Psalm 91:11 tells us, "For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." That promise is yours. Hold it close. Speak it often. Live in the confidence that no matter what has tried to break you, nothing can undo what God has done. So now, as this message draws to a close, I ask you to do 3 simple things. First, like this video if it has brought peace to your heart today. Second, share it with your friends and family who need to hear this word of protection and purpose. You never know who is in their darkest hour and needs a reminder that heaven is holding them tight. Third, subscribe to Prophetic Message and click the notification bell so you don't miss future messages like this. Messages tailored to uplift, restore, and guide you daily. This channel is your spiritual home, a place where divine truths are spoken clearly and your soul can rest. Before we go, take a moment now and comment below with the faith phrase that feels most real to you. Something like, "Blessed and ready," or "Covered and protected," or simply, "I believe." Let your words be a declaration not only for yourself, but for everyone reading them. Let your faith light the way for others, because here, in this sacred community, we lift each other up. We stand together in faith, and we walk boldly into the future. God has prepared. Thank you for trusting me to share this message with you today. Thank you for opening your heart to heaven's voice. And thank you for allowing the angels to keep watching over you. Until we meet again. May your days be filled with peace. May your nights be free from fear. And may you always remember, you are kept alive for a reason. You are protected beyond what you can see. And your best days are yet to come. Stay blessed, stay ready, and keep walking in God's perfect peace.